freshman year is freshman curfew. I believe that freshmen at Lipscomb should not have curfew. I'm sure that a lot of us could probably have stories about when they've been late or had to sign out or suffer consequences of being late. I know in Elam they really do enforce curfew. I don't know what it's like in the other guys' dorms. But I had a friend first semester who was 15 minutes late for curfew, and she ended up having to lose her signing out privileges for the next weekend. And she was going to go visit her family the next weekend, and she wasn't able to do that just because she lost her privileges of signing out. And I just think that's a really severe consequence for being 15 minutes late when she was planning on having a good weekend with their family, and I think that could be changed. A reason that I do not believe we should have curfew is because it's really annoying for studying purposes, and I think that the dorm is just not a great place to study. There's lots of distractions, lots of friends, and sometimes you want to go to sleep if you're in your dorm room, and it's just not a good place to study. I know that I've had a hard time with that, and so the best place to study would be the library or an academic building or somewhere else. But when you are when your curfew is enforced and you have to come back early from that, and I know that I've had plenty of times where I've came back early from the library at curfew and not gotten a lot of my studying done, which has really harmed my schoolwork for a lot of times just because I haven't been able to stay out. So I think that if curfew was not enforced, that would be a lot easier for studying purposes. Another reason I think curfew should not be enforced is as freshmen, it's kind of our first year away from our parents, and maybe this is our first year not having parents telling us when to be home. And I think that it's really important that we are being independent and learning responsibility on our own instead of having somebody to tell us what to do. And I think that a lot of us don't want to be treated as babies and told that we need to be in at a certain time, and we should just be able to manage our time wisely and manage when we should be back to the dorm. And I think that that's just a really important part of college, and it's just growing up and learning to be responsible for when we need to be in. Another reason is RAs would have a lot less work to do if they weren't having to enforce curfew, and that would just be it's just unnecessary for RAs to have to always check on our rooms and check when we're going to be in and enforce and give consequences to us. It's just kind of more work for them when that's just unnecessary. And I just believe that people will find a way to get out of curfew no matter what, and they could sign out of their dorm or stay in someone else's dorm or stay in another building on campus. And so there's plenty of ways to find a way out of it, so it's just unnecessary to really enforce it in the first place, and it's just kind of a hassle for everyone. So I think that Lipscomb would be a better place without freshman curfew.